Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So hopefully you guys remember an episode I did about a month or so ago back when psychiatrist, medical doctor Paul Saladino went on the Doctor's TV show to promote the great benefits of the carnivore diet.
I don't think there are any risks to eating animal foods exclusively. I am bringing attention to the notion that fruits and vegetables contain things that can be harmful to humans.
However, Dr. Stork wasn't having any of it. Who's normally a pretty chill person, he lost his crap completely on how absurd the carnivore diet is.
Literally, there are thousands and thousands of studies that show the benefits of fruits, vegetables. What we are saying is, if all you eat for your whole life, ever, it's just meat, that's not good. I don't have to be a doctor. I'm just like...
So if you saw that episode on the doctors, the psychiatrist turned carnivore proponent saying that eating plants is what's been causing all these diseases in people, and conversely, eating all meat is the cure. And none of this is based in any fact, any science, any peer-reviewed study. And now he's taken it one just completely irresponsible step further, now saying that without any fact or any study, that eating an all-meat diet is somehow going to protect you from the coronavirus. So over on his social media, this psychiatrist has been making shocking posts like this with big headlines, best defense against coronavirus. And if you actually read what he says here, the conversation around coronavirus is all wrong. Like really, all wrong. You're a psychiatrist. You're not trained in epidemiology or disease. You have it all figured out, really. So now I'm going to skip down in his post where he starts calling out vegans and people eating plant-based diets. He says, sorry, plant-based folks, your diet isn't helping you. As I discuss in my book, The Carnivore Code, really, you think now is a great time to get people to buy your book so they can save themselves from coronavirus? Animal foods are simply the most nutrient-rich foods on the planet. Want to be healthy? Include them in your diet and don't be misled by plant-based propaganda. I repeat, I am a doctor and I am not afraid of coronavirus, nor should you be if you are living a radical life. Okay, there's so much wrong there. Like, I'm a doctor and I'm not afraid of coronavirus. Well, is that lack of fear based on scientific evidence, or maybe just because you're a complete narcissist and don't fear things that you should and living a radical life? I mean, what are you talking about? What does that have to do with anything? If anything, you need to show us some facts, some evidence showing what you're trying to assert here, that eating the diet that you're proposing that everyone should eat here, all meat, gives you some kind of protection against coronavirus. And you don't have any science, and Dr. Garth Davis calls you out and rips you a new one in his response. Dr. Garth says, you are truly an idiot. This is insane. Eat meat-only diet to prevent corona? Do you have any evidence whatsoever that it is true? No, you don't. Malpractice for a doctor to put out such garbage, especially a psychiatrist with no training in nutrition, infectious disease, or epidemiology. I believe vegan diet is fantastic for immunity, and I actually have evidence to prove it, but I would never tell the public just to be vegan to avoid corona. So how do we know there's no evidence, no studies to support these gigantic claims from the psychiatrist Saladino here? It's because not much has changed since about a month or so ago when Saladino was on the doctors and Dr. Joel Kahn had this to say about Saladino.
I wonder what Dr. Saladino, a colleague of mine and a psychiatrist, was doing research on this morning in the National Library of Medicine PubMed is all the research studies that are randomized on the carnivore diet. There is not one.
So no surprise, zero randomized control studies backing up any of the outrageous claims that Saladino has been making about all meat diets. And that goes for the outrageous claims he's making now about his diet and its protective effects on the coronavirus. So why does he even believe this for if there's nothing to back him up? Well, if you dig further on his social media, he's made some posts about how his diet boosts your immunity better than any other, and conversely, vegan diets are the worst, and that's why we will succumb to these diseases. So in this earlier post from March 1st, more talk about how he has no fear whatsoever of coronavirus, but what I want to draw attention to is what he says here about vegans and our horrible immune systems. He says, those more susceptible to viruses like this are those with weakened immune systems, equals poor nutrition. I'm looking at you vegans. Just saying. So first let me point out that the largest group of health professionals in the world, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, says that vegan diets are nutritionally adequate for people in all phases of life. So apparently this psychiatrist thinks he knows better. And furthermore, this position is just not pulled out of their butts. It's based on the body of scientific studies that shows that there is an immune boost from eating a vegan and plant-based diet. And since Saladino has the luxury of hiding behind zero science to support his claims, we just can't fact check what he's saying, I looked up what the science said about the immune system's response to eating meat in general. And it's not all that good, as you see here, as these studies from NYU and UCSD show. In fact, after searching for quite a long time, the first and only study that I found that made any mention about how meat has a positive effect on our immune system was published by the Beef Trade magazine here. Anyway, after people online like Dr. Garth Davis and Lane Norton responded to these outrageous claims that Saladino's making here, Saladino thought he wasn't clear enough. His posts were misunderstood. He's the victim, so he needed to make a video to set the record straight.
Unfortunately, like I said, a lot of that messaging is being misused and used against me right now, which I think is disappointing, because ultimately I think that we need to be banding together as humans right now and not trying to be separate or really trying to criticize other people.
Well, that's all a bunch of crap, because why did he just recently repost this to his own personal social media? So unprofessional, making fun of older vegan doctors who have no interest whatsoever in bodybuilding. And Dr. McDougall is 72 years old. Why are you picking on a guy 30 years older than you? Yeah, you're trying to band together and bring people closer together right now? Nonsense.
I've never claimed that a carnivore diet can cure the coronavirus. I've never claimed that a carnivore diet will prevent any of us from getting a coronavirus, right?
No, you literally said in your post that if you eat the diet that you do and try to be healthy, that you should have absolutely no fear of the coronavirus. That pretty much is telling people, yeah, eat my diet and you will not get coronavirus.
And so one of the things I said in previous posts was, look, I don't think plant foods are a great part of a healthy diet. You guys know this. This isn't something radical.
Well, yeah, that is actually quite radical. You're saying you, a psychiatrist, knows better than the largest group of health professionals in the world and the scientific information, the studies that they base their position upon.
But if the majority of your diet is from plant foods and it's nutrient deficient, which most plant food-based diets are,
citation needed, bro. In fact, if anyone's diet's deficient, it would be yours. Just right off the top of my head. An all-meat diet would be deficient in potassium, fiber, and vitamin C for starters.
Then yeah, I think you could be more susceptible to a coronavirus or any illness. That's my messaging.
He keeps saying that vegan diets are nutritionally deficient, but all the evidence points to the contrary, such as the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, who base their opinion on the scientific research out there. They have no problem with the nutritional adequacy of our diets. And if you look at actual vegan YouTubers who put their blood tests up for all to see, you'll see we're not deficient. And by the way, Saladino, let's see some of your blood work. Mine go back to 2012 and not deficient. John Venus had put his up, not deficient. Mike the Vegan put his up, not deficient. And Chris from Vegan Zombie, 20+ year vegan, not deficient. But he was a little low in vitamin D, which is quite normal according to his doctor because he lives at a very high latitude.
And I'm so sad and really disappointed that people like Lane are twisting the message potentially for their own gain.
So now Saladino is painting himself as the victim, typical narcissist move, because people like Lane Norton are calling him out, twisting his words. No, Lane is just giving an objective, scientific-based response, and let's just check out some of this horrible twisting.
If a completely meat-based diet, devoid of vegetables, is the best way to live a long life, then why do people who eat high amounts of fiber, on average, live longer? Well, if it was Paul, he would just tell you it's just healthy user bias. Yeah, that might be the case if it was the case for one meta-analysis or one systematic review. It is the case time after time after time after time in the literature.
Yeah, Saladino, you're the victim here. Lane is just picking on you, making stuff up. No, that's what you do, but you paint yourself as the victim. Complete narcissist move. And speaking of narcissism, let's get back to that image that he reposted onto his social media on Facebook and Instagram. I mean, this is just so, first of all, unprofessional. I've never seen a vegan doctor make fun of non-vegan doctors in a manner like this. Just ad hominem attacks, picking on older doctors who don't work out. They could have easily picked doctors like, say, Dr. Nadolsky here and Dr. Garth Davis, both medical doctors who do work out. And if you want to get a female vegan medical doctor, and here's board certified gastroenterologist Dr. Angie hanging out with a bunch of protein deficient vegans. Well, sadly, narcissists are typically cowards, and that's why he feels it's so funny to try to challenge a vegan medical doctor 30 years his senior to some kind of obstacle course race. Yeah, of course you'll perform better than him. I mean, that's just completely ridiculous. But, you know, I feel like I'm going to defend Dr. McDougall's and Dr. Greger's honor here. I'm 10 years older than Dr. Saladino, and I've been vegan now 9.5+ years, so I should be really weak and deficient. So I propose this. Assuming you live in Southern California, as I believe you do, Saladino, soon as we can get a gym again, when it's safe to go back and all that, let's play a game of one-on-one basketball. Let's see if big, strong you can beat a vegan 10 years older than you. And I really don't think he's going to take me up on this challenge because I'm calling him out as a coward. But if you want to play, I will play you anytime, Saladino. Look me up, contact me. So anyway, guys, leave your questions and comments down below. I mean, there's so much to comment about here. What do you think of his claims that eating an all-meat diet gives you some kind of protective effect against coronavirus when there's absolutely zero science supporting that? And what do you think about him making these ad hominem attacks against vegan medical doctors so much older than him? So unprofessional. And just there's so much wrong with the story, and that's why I'm making it. So comment down below, hit like if you enjoyed this video, and share it. Until next time, guys, let's remember to keep it carb.